Okay, people, this is going to be the first video on the series about your third partial project. Try to pay attention to follow the steps thoroughly. If you got trouble with this, you can ask me questions about it. Well, first, you will have to create a new document. One thing that you need to remember is that it can be in pairs. This final project, you can do it in pairs. So, yeah, or in teams of 3 people. That will be the tops. So it's gonna be the student. Let's just name this student 1, student 2, student 3. Let's just say that it's a team of 3 people. What's up in that? Remember, it's a Word document. It must be done here in Teams because I want to be able to check every step of the project in case you got any trouble. Here you got the presentation page. I don't know, whatever format you want to give it. Just make sure that your full names are here. For the 3 students, or 2, or 1 if it is only 1. Please, that's very important for me. So that's your cover letter, whatever, cover page, sorry. Whatever you have in mind, just put it in there. You know, the school logo and everything that. After you do that, you have to decide which animal. It must be a mama. Any mama could do it. Don't choose dogs or cats because, well, they are very common. So choose anything else but those. So let's say that I want to choose what I want to choose a tiger. Okay, so we got here several subspecies. Don't mind of that. Just make sure that you choose well, the one of the species. Let me choose one. Yeah, there are 6 subspecies. Tiger, scientific name. Okay, Panthera tigris. That's one. That's the one that I want to look. So that's gonna be the name of your mama. So you said, for example, it's gonna be a tiger. And well, the scientific name is Panthera tigris. Obviously, you will give this the format you want to have, like, yeah, well, whatever format you want. And I want a pretty nice picture of this tiger. Let's just say this one, just because. Again, this is your project. You can choose any picture you want. Just make sure that the animal is in that picture. And that will be all. There we go. Now we have a nice picture of my tiger in here. Then what I recommend you to do is to look for this in the Wikipedia so you can see some of the traits of this animal. If it is an animal that you don't know that well, you can actually look here and choose a trait. Here in, let me choose, let's just say that, what trait do we want to look here? Characteristics. We got size, we got color variation, and we got several others. So let's say that we are going to choose color variation. It can be the color of the eyes if you want, only the color of the eyes. So you have to choose a trait, and from that trait you have to choose the dominant and the recessive. So if we're talking about color, let's say what we got. Okay, so we got the white and the golden color. Yeah, you can make a little research here, but let's just say that white is going to be the recessive and golden is going to be the dominant trait. Yeah, do you remember that we already talked about this? Recessive means that in order to have this little phenotype, both genes must be equal. So it must be AA. And for the dominant, it could be either the homozygous dominant or the heterozygous. Since it's the dominant, well, you will have that. So we got those two variants. What you are going to do next is, well, to copy the population. Here, I will close this for a moment. So you will see where I got my information. You got the random genotype generator. It's going to be here in the folder. So you're going to pick that. Well, you're going to open that. And it's going to be a list of genotypes, you know, 20 to be in total. Oh my God, it's misbehaving this. Let's give it a moment. It's doing the stuff. I can see that. There we go. Okay, so as you may notice, I don't know if you pay attention to this, but every time I can like do this, I mean, I select the first one and oh my God. Every time I like do one movement here, you can place your and do something like this. This one is going to move. Let's just say that I write A. You look at that, everything moves. So what I recommend you to do is to write something, erase that, place enter, and the list is going to change. This is important because every one of you must have a different population. I don't want to see the same population. Since this is a random list, you are supposed to have a random, well, a different population. So you're going to copy that. Let's close this. Hopefully it will work. There we go. Where's my population? I have to say that I want to edit. There we go. I got some trouble with this. Oh, the deal. Okay, what is important to remember with this is that everyone from your team can be like working on the same document, so you won't have any trouble with this. There we go. Maybe we can say that I want to see that in the like in a. Let me see if I can do something about it. Just give me 1 second because I prefer to have it in a table. I know what I have to do. Just give me 1 second. I'll do it again. Okay, what I'm gonna do is choose one from the other side. Don't close this because, well, you can have some trouble. Okay, he's doing whatever he wants to do. Okay, don't worry. Let's do this. Once you have this, the whole population, let me see how long this video has been. Okay, remember that there are 20 of them. Let me put it in a like a different arrangement. just to have a nice looking. Okay, there we go. So this is your genotype population. And then after that, what you're going to do is to, well, just tell me how the percentage for the phenotype frequency for the genotype frequency allele frequency and the Hardy Weinberg equilibrium. Yeah, you're going to calculate all of them. For this population, the phenotype frequency, this one is dominant, the first one, the second one is dominant. So I will count down only the dominant ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me mark it so you can see what I'm doing. Just like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 of them are dominant. Remember that I told you that the dominant one is going to be golden. So I can write down here golden. And 9 of them will be recessive. So that means that 9 of them will be white. Pretty amazing, if you ask me. Then we have the genotype frequency. I already know that this one is going to be 9 of them. So I can say 9 of them will be homozygous recessive. And that means this one. For the other ones, 1, 2, 3. Let me use a different color. It could be a little easier to notice that. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them. In other words, we have 3, only 3 that is going to be homozygous for the dominant. So it's 1, 2, and I got 3. Yeah, that's right. So we got 9 of them. Remember, this is out of 20. You can make the math here. There you go. So 8 out of 20 is going to be heterozygous. That means that one of them is uppercase and the other one is lowercase. What else do we have? Let me just hear a different size of letter so you can make the difference. For the allele frequency, you have to count down how many times do we have 8, how many times do we have lowercase a, and well, you have to calculate the frequency out of, in this case, 30. I will help you do that. Like, I will give you a hint. You can use this. I mean, you don't need to actually count down every one of that. I mean, you can do it, but you don't have to. For example, here we got 9 double A. That means that we got 18 here, plus 8 of them that are here. So we got 9 plus 9, that is going to be 18, is going to be 26. 26 out of 40 of the recessive. And for this one, it's going to be 6 of here, plus 8 here. So it's going to be 14. If you add up these two numbers, it must be 40. So that's one way to know that you are right. There we go. Now that you have this, you can go ahead and over your calculator to actually tell me the actual percentage here. So I will only calculate it for the allele frequency, since that is the one that I will use for the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. But well, please do it for the other ones. It's just that I don't want to take too long for the video. So we got, if you do the math, this is 0.35 or 35%, and this one must be 65%. Again, you can do the math. Okay, so once you have this, you are going to calculate a Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. What you're going to do, Hardy-Weinberg calculator, that will work. So choose any calculator that is in here. I mean, you can choose the first one if that is an option. Let me check. Yeah, this one is an option. So we got the dominant and the recessive. That's how I will put it in. Let me calculate it. Okay, let me check. So here it said that the percentage of population that has the recessive trait. In my population, that is going to be 65%. Apparently, it's pretty common to have the recessive trait, if you ask me. So that's going to be 65%. Let me put it here. 65. There we go. This is not going to work like I expect. Okay, this one is not working as I expect, so we can choose the second one. There we go. This is more like the one that you already did. So we got, again, 35 is my dominant trait, so I can write down first. I mean, it doesn't have to be like that. From that, you got the genotype frequencies for the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. This is very easy to use. I will paste here the link so you can use that. Last time, I don't know why it didn't work like all the time, but in this case, today it's working correctly. So the first one is 0.122. That's going to be for the heterozygous dominant. Sorry, the homozygous dominant. So that's going to be double A. The second one is going to be 0.45. And that's going to be for the heterozygous. And the last one, it must be 0.423. So 0.423, that's going to be for the recessive. Okay, so in your case, well, let me calculate this pretty quick so we can compare the apples with apples. The first one, 9 out of 20 is going to be 0.45. The second one, 3 out of 20 is going to be 0.15. And the last one, 0.4. If you compare this with this, I mean, it is not quite the same, but for example, the first one is 0.12, and here we got 0.15. So yeah, pretty much close. For the heterozygous, here it is 0.4, and here is 0.45. And for the recessive one, here we got 0.42, and here we got 0.45. So we almost have the same result, but not quite there. So in my case, the population is evolving since it doesn't match the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium results. Yeah. So here we go. This is the first step of your project. We are going to have a second video talking about what is going to happen next. Right now, with this is enough. If you are already finished with this, you can go ahead and choose and look for the other videos. Remember, the cover page with your names, the name of the subject, that is the third partial project, everything, you know, that you have to do in there. You have to tell me which mama are you choosing, the common name, and the scientific name. Very important that. A picture of that. And then from that mama, you are going to choose a specific trait. In this case, I choose color variation. So with that, you have to choose the dominant and the recessive variation of that trait. In my case, since I choose color, I got white as the recessive. That's going to be this one. And I got golden, the dominant phenotype, and this is going to be this one. Then after that, you copy paste the population from the document that I posted here in the folder. If you got trouble with this, you can ask me. Just make sure that every time you got in here, you have to do something to actually change that. Like you have to move something. Let's just say that you write something down and then you erase that because I don't want to see anything write it down here. But you have to choose, just make sure that this one is different from the one you got once you opened this. Very important. I don't want to see two of this population in different documents. So, okay, after you finish with this, you calculate the phenotype frequency, the genotype frequency. Remember, you have to tell me the numbers. Here, I can just tell you that this one is 0.55. And this one over is going to be 0.45. Yeah. I just making the division of 11 under out of 20, and that's the result. Then the genotype frequency and the allele frequency. With that, you're going to go to this page that I put in here to calculate the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. If you got trouble with this page, well, you can ask me, I can give you a different one. After you do that, after you calculate the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, you just copy paste the numbers that you got in there. Remember, let me do this again so you can look at it. The first one, remember that it's 0.65. I'm sorry, it was 0.35. Remember, the first number that you put in here, 0.35 in my case, is going to be, in my case, the dominant allele. So when I got the result, the first one is going to be the homozygous for the dominant. The one in the middle is going to be the heterozygous. And the last one is going to be the homozygous for the recessive. Once you got that, you compare that one that you got from this. You can copy paste the table if you want here to look a little more appealing. You compare that with the ones that you calculated from your population. and then you conclude if it is evolving or not. Later, we're going to continue. Let's see what will happen next after that. Right now, with this is enough. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice, beautiful day.